What's good, y'all? I've got some huge buffs for not only Kingdra, but also Seadra. So if this is your first impression of this ROM hack, it's not your average run-of-the-mill ROM hack. Pretty much everything on this hack is massively reworked, from the moves to every single Pokemon to a lot of new abilities and all types of other crazy stuff. So definitely make sure you check out that Google Sheet right down below. It's linked in the description, and you can check out all of the moves as well as the Pokemon buffs and changes. If you look at this tab right here on the bottom, it says search all moves here, and I highly encourage anybody who is new here who has yet to do so to check out this Google Sheet with this move sheet specifically. You can look at all the move buffs and changes. It took me a lot of time and effort to organize all these into all of these various categories and sections and whatnot, so it's very easy to navigate. It's not like it's a chore like your typical ROM hack documents where they just give you a paste bin to look at all the moves. No, this is like very interactive. It's all linked with one another. A lot of the new abilities and moves link to each other. Speaking of new abilities, Seadra has a new ability called Rapid Fire, which gives +3 priority to moves that hit 3 or more times. So that's really cool, especially later game for moves like Surging Strikes, technically actually before you evolve, or the same level you evolve, which despite only having 70 base attack is still really good to have as a priority move. And then at level 51, only about 6 levels after you would normally evolve, which again is optional, which I'll get into, is Dragon Burst, which is essentially Dragon Rage but 4 times. So that's priority, right? So that's 120 base, that's 120 HP priority move. And what you can do is you can run Seadra with max HP and then max bulk, and you can just spam Dragon Burst, and that's like insane. That's super great. You can also use like Swords Dance, a Violite plus Surging Strikes with Rapid Fire. The thing is, with Rapid Fire you don't have to run any speed investment, so you can just run max HP, max attack, or even max HP, max defense, and just, click Swords Dance once and then spam Surging Strikes. It's super great. Seadra alone is very worthwhile for that alone, let alone the fact that it also has Swift Swim, which is what Kingdra, of course, used to have. It has Kingdra's old typing, and it actually has comparable stats to Kingdra and Vanilla. Obviously, Kingdra himself is now a pseudo-legendary, if that wasn't apparent. I'm not even going to get into why, because I think it's super obvious, and there are dozens of new pseudo-legendaries in this hack, and also stuff I call semi-pseudos. And one thing that all those guys have in common is that the middle form for the semi-pseudos and pseudos are viable on their own, which is why they evolve with a gem. So that way your Seadra, if you are keeping Seadra, which is totally a viable option, you don't get spammed with him trying to evolve every single level. That would be super obnoxious. So yeah, that's super cool for Seadra. I love Seadra. I like both Kingdra and Seadra a lot, but I low-key like Seadra's design more, and the fact that the abilities are a lot more fun to use. Not that Drizzle and Mega Launcher are bad, they're incredible, obviously, and Kingdra is naturally much bulkier, and it doesn't have to hold and a Violite to be bulkier than Seadra. So, 85, 100, 100 Water Dragon type, they also get reliable recovery. Every single Pokemon in the game, for the most part, gets that in this hack. In this case, we have Rehydrate, which is Water type recover. You also have Priority Snipe Shot later in the game at 55, which will be in time for Aether Foundation, maybe at the very end of the Aether Foundation. That's pretty damn crazy. Snipe Shot is as you can see on screen, on the little exclusive move section, and also, of course, on the move change sheet, you can check it out as well. It is a 50 base power +3 priority move that always crits. Essentially, it's almost like Water E-Speed, but it also crits, ignoring holy crap, special defense boosts on the opponent's side, which isn't that big of a deal. The main big deal here is that it actually ignores special attack drops from Draco Meteor and Hydro Cannon. Hydro Cannon being literally just Water type Draco Meteor. Both of those are 150 base power, absolute nukes. Another thing I want to address quickly is why I didn't give Kingdra Ruthless, because if you're a returning viewer, you probably know that Ruthless, or Sniper, is now repurposed as Ruthless with a bunch of new moves that always crit that exist in this hack, which you can also check out on that Google Sheet. Also, I'll get into the other rapid fire applications because there's a bunch of them, and also Swift Swim is super great. There's so many things I want to talk about, alright? So it will take me a little while to get through all these because this is literally just 2 separate Pokemon I gotta cover. But yeah, Kingdra is a lot more like, I wouldn't say brainless, but it's just like big drizzle damage button. You got Water Spat at level 60 for the very end game with Choice Scarf, 125 base special attack. It's also still has a good physical attack set, so you can use physical moves for certain boss fights. You've got great coverage moves. Mega Launcher gives Dragon Pulse a 50% boost, making it 150 base power, zero drawbacks, right? So it's as strong as Draco Meteor without any special attack drop, basically. And then you also get a boost on Torrential Pulse, which is a pretty early move that you get at level 49. That's pretty early for how strong it is with Mega Launcher. So it's the same boost as Drizzle, essentially, that Torrential Pulse would give. So the benefit of Mega Launcher is that not only are you not setting up the rain, because you have to keep in mind, as awesome as the rain might sound, unless you're literally building a team around rain, in which case, go crazy, but if you're doing like a Team Lock Nuzlocke or a Hardcore Nuzlocke, you might not always want the rain. Rain might hinder your ally, it might hinder another weather strategy you want to use, it might boost the opponent up too much, whatever it may be. You don't always want that drizzle option. All Pokemon in this ROM hack are balanced to have 2 useful abilities to switch between with that infinite usability capsule that you get at the beginning of the game. So in Kingdra's case, Drizzle, obviously very strong, and then Mega Launcher gives Dragon Pulse, which is reteachable via Tutor, which is great. Water Pulse becomes 90 base power, same boost that Drizzle would give, of course. Water Pulse has a big new buff in the sense that it functions like moves like Breaking, Swipe, and Aurora Beam. Those moves all have the same effect, and a bunch of new ones. Again, just check them out in the description. Those will drop attack and special attack by 1. So that's really great for like defensive utility, especially on a bulkier Pokemon like Kingdra with that good Water Dragon typing. You know, you can really whittle the opponent down with like bulkier sets if you want to, because you have access to that infinite. To those instant EV training items, you can swap on, you can run max HP for certain boss fights, and then for other boss fights, you can run max speed, or you can speed creep with a Choice Scarf or whatever. You also get Dragon Dance late game. That is one of the last TMs you get, though. Agility is also really good, though, and you get that much earlier. You have other utility like Parting Shot and T-Spikes and all this other cool stuff. But yeah, as for why I didn't give Kingdra Ruthless, sorry, I kind of just like jumped around, but I don't think it fits too well logically. Like, he doesn't seem very ruthless, and then also he doesn't have too many moves to abuse with it. Obviously, he would have Snipe Shot, but like Drizzle gives the same exact boost that it would get to Snipe Shot. So Mega Launcher is a lot cooler because it actually boosts non-water type moves, while Ruthless would pretty much only be for Surging Strikes and Snipe Shot. Those are like his only crit moves, because all the other crit moves and First Impression technically, but like it's just kind of mid on him. And then of course you could be like, oh well, I want to use Focus Energy, Draco Meteor, dude. If that impresses you in vanilla games, the fact that literally every ruthless Pokemon, like all the special attacking ones like Charizard and stuff, can do that with like Blast Burn and stuff, will impress you even more, especially when you consider the fact that they have moves like Heat Wave, which will always crit. My point is, look, Sniper, or in this case Ruthless Kingdra, it would not be good. It would not be a good ability slot in a ROM hack like this. In a regular game, hell yeah, go ahead, go crazy with that Focus Energy crit Kingdra. But in this game, like, there are so many better Pokemon that have those crit abilities that fit them better as well. So that's why I didn't give him that. But yeah, Snipe Shot is a crazy move for late game. Of course, it is still a late game option. You will be using Seadra for the majority of the hack, so Seadra's awesome on his own, though, and again, you can always keep him with that Eviolite, with that Dragon Burst. I would love to use that. I probably would, honestly. I would only evolve to Kingdra if I needed like Drizzle, or I needed like the Held Item Freedom or something, because keep in mind, Swift Swim at Seadra is actually, quote unquote, you could use Seadra in a much different offensive way than Kingdra can. It basically brings him like old Kingdra, so, and he's actually even stronger and faster than old Kingdra. So, with the Violet, you're bulkier too, so now you can really go crazy in the rain. Keep in mind that Damp Rock is buffed to give 6 turns as opposed to 3. The reason I did that is for Team Lock Nuzlocke, which is kind of what the hack is balanced around. So you can use Rain Dance on your ally, and then you can Parting Shot or Volt Switch or U-Turn into your Rain Abuser or Weather Abuser, and now you have 9 full turns of Rain to abuse with your Seadra in this case. You don't need a Drizzle Pokemon on your team at all times to abuse, Weather. Obviously, the Drizzle Pokemon makes it easier, but it's not like you need it. It's actually totally viable to just click Rain Dance with the Buff Rock and use a switch move to get into your Seadra safely, or you can just hard switch if you know what you're doing. But yeah, overall, that's sick. I mean, Swift Swim is super strong. Again, it's stronger than than Kingdra in terms of like speed because of Swift Swim, and then also in terms of speed with Rapid Fire. So that's kind of another benefit of Seadra. Despite having 5 less base speed, it's actually, has all those new priority moves and stuff. Of course, Kingdra still gets Snipe Shot with Drizzle, which is pretty crazy. So I would probably maybe like not evolve until I got Snipe Shot, then maybe I'd consider evolving. I don't know. It just depends on my teammates at the time. If I had like a Drizzlemon, I would definitely keep Seadra, that's for sure. But again, it's team locked, so you can't switch. You can't go to your PC to just add mons whenever you want. Also, I just like Seadra more. But again, it's up to your personal preference. Kingdra's also sick. He also has a couple of other exclusive moves. Like for example, you get T-Bolt and Thunder. Also Hurricane in the rain. So Hurricane and Thunder both won't miss in the rain, of course. That's great with Kingdra for those coverage moves. And I also give them Calm Mind, which I think fits pretty well. And you can use Calm Mind plus Snipe Shot, which is pretty crazy. Similar to how like Seadra can use like Swords Dance plus Surging Strikes and with Rapid Fire. Also early game Rapid Fire has its own uses. So you have Bubble Barrage, which actually is worth keeping for a while. Bubble Barrage will become basically it's 20 base power per hit. It hits 3 times and it drops speed each time you hit it. So that's it basically drops speed by 3 and it's 60 base power, right? The benefit is that it's priority with Rapid Fire. That's the main use of it. Obviously, it also drops speed, which is useful for your teammates, and it's also just a strong move. And the fact that it hits 3 times and all the other Rapid Fire moves hitting 3 times means that they will bypass through a lot of common items on the AI, like Focus Sash, abilities like Multi-Scale, Energy Shield, stuff like that. You know, Pasho Berry will be bypassed by Bubble Barrage, so that's really sick. And that, you know, obviously outclasses Bubble Shot as the regular standard special water type priority move. However, you need Rapid Fire active to be able to use Bubble Barrage. But yeah, definitely worth keeping for a long time on Seadra. And then you also get access to Icicle Spear, Pin Missile, and Spike Cannon, which you only have 70 base attack, but at that point in the game, that's totally strong enough, and you can use that for very specific situations if you want to hit something with a stronger priority move of that type, of those 3 types. And then you got Bar Barrage at 29, just in time for Totem Lurantis, which is pretty sick. That is the same thing as Bubble Barrage, but it's physical poison type and auto poison instead of drop speed. So that's really good for Totem Lurantis, especially with that priority poison. You also have stuff like, you know, I actually didn't get Haze for some reason. I guess I just didn't have room. Yeah, I don't really notice this. There's a bunch of other cool things like Coil plus Surging Strikes on Seadra is pretty sick because Coil will give you a +1 accuracy boost as well, and of course makes you much bulkier. You could use like max HP, max Def with Coil and a Violite on Seadra and become super tanky and never miss Surging Strikes, because Surging Strikes does have a 90% accuracy nerf, I guess, just because it's a widely distributed move, and I do want to make it like a worthwhile drawback, because in a ROM hack that's balanced around Hardcore Nuzlocke, a 10% chance to miss can be very risky. Yeah, I'm getting off on side tangents, but also the abilities Drizzle and Mega Launcher fit really fucking well, obviously. Well, Ruthless does not fit that well anymore. Obviously Sniper does because of the whole mouth sniper thing, but that's why I give him Mega Launcher. And he also has a really good move pool for Mega Launcher. Incredibly powerful, obviously. I also didn't cover, yes, you do have Aura Sphere and Dark Pulse, which are 135 and 128 base power, respectively. I swapped the order around, but yeah, Dark Pulse 128, Aura Sphere 135. Those are very good covers moves alongside your Dragon Pulse, Water Pulse, and Torrential Pulse. So yeah, Torrential Pulse being the same base power as Dragon Pulse, by the way. So yeah, thank you so much for listening. I'll be back for more Bus and Changes coming up. I appreciate you listening. I'll be back for more Bus and... Yeah, I literally repeated myself twice. Holy shit. If you can't tell, I'm bulk recording. So if you do listen this far into the video, let me know if you heard that fucking... that fuck up. All right. Peace, everyone.